now called upon. Representative Donalds.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Dr. Gupta, thanks for joining us. Quick question, Doctor. You were talking about transportation of fentanyl and other opioids, routes, manufacturing. You mentioned that there's precursor that comes from China. Wouldn't you say that most of the actual pills that are pressed with fentanyl are actually manufactured in Mexico?
Congressman, yes, they are manufactured in Mexico after production.
Okay, so they're manufactured in Mexico, and then where do they go from there?
Congressman, they are often trafficked. We know that they end up in the hands of unsuspecting Americans oftentimes.
So how are they trafficked into the United States, Dr. Gupta?
What we understand is they're trafficked across all routes from land border, sea border, ports of entry, air, as we've been discussing. So there's
Dr. Gupta, Dr. Gupta, I have a question. It's a side question, but it's on the point of trafficking itself. What did you say it would be better for Border Patrol agents to be fully focused on the trafficking of narcotics as opposed to processing people coming across the border at an illegal point of entry?
Congressman, I think you're trying to get to the point of resources, I guess. The fact of the matter is that we have to be able to do both. But when it comes to counter narcotics,
Dr. Gupta, to your point about resources are finite. There's only but so many resources you actually have at your disposal. We know that there's only but so many men and women of Border Patrol at the disposal of the United States. So would you say it would be more effective drug policy to have Border Patrol agents actually monitoring drug trafficking than processing people with asylum applications who are coming to an illegal point of entry?
Congressman, what I would say to you is it is a distribution of resources. The president has asked for a budget to match that, but we must also look at the profits that are driving the transnational criminal organization. I say this because it is not only drugs. These are polycrime organizations that are involved in smuggling people, they're smuggling guns, they're smuggling cash.
Dr. Gupta, I actually completely agree with what you just said. They are smuggling people and drugs and cash and weapons. So if we know these things, as you just alluded, isn't it the best policy from the White House, and definitely with respect to your purview in the administration, to make sure that border agents are focused on trafficking of all of these things, as opposed to just processing people at the southern border? Because let me add this point to my question. Fine point. When a border agent, I've been there 4 times. I know the president has not been, but I've been there 4 times. When a border agent is at the southern border and a group of people come out of the brush crossing our border illegally, the border agent is usually just him by himself or herself, has to stop actually patrolling the section they are responsible for, and they have to go through the process of doing intake of everybody that approached them. I was at a border stop where people came across illegally about a week ago in McAllen, Texas. I witnessed this firsthand, and that agent is now distracted. Now, at that time, when that agent had to deal with people coming across the border illegally, on the radio, there were runners coming through the McAllen section who did not want to give themselves up. And I would assume they were running with narcotics, namely fentanyl. So I'm gonna go back to the original point of questioning here. Isn't it better policy in the United States for border agents to be focused on trafficking from the drug cartels and multinational criminal organizations, as opposed to actually going through the process of processing people coming into our country at an illegal point of entry?
Honestly, I hope we can do both. And I hope we can do both because what drives...
But hope's not a strategy, Dr. Gupta. Hope is not a strategy. Hope is wishful thinking. The reality is you already dictated there are finite resources. There's only but so many border agents. So if you have to choose, which one do you choose, Dr. Gupta?
Councilman, if we follow the strategy that's laid out, the president's strategy, a drug control strategy, I think you will find a number of technological aspects for both detection and deterrence that allow us to actually save money by using technology for that. But we must go after the profits of these transnational criminal organizations. I
completely agree with you, Dr. Gupta. I'm gonna reclaim my time. If we go after their profits, the number one thing we do is we actually stop processing people at an illegal point of entry. because then they won't pay the drug cartels, those are profits, to traffic them into the United States. The drug cartels are using human trafficking into our country as a way to actually increase drug trafficking into our country,
Gentleman's
which is a
time has
direct
expired. Gentleman's time has
thing that goes
expired.
with the amount of fentanyl deaths in the United States. Thank you, Madam Chair, for the indulgence. I yield back the rest of my time.
Okay, Representative DeSaulnier, you're now recognized.